What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel with your host that does the absolute most, spiritual intellectual 777 here once again. And in today's video, what we're going to talk about is the Gamma Males and the Male Personality Traits 101 series. So this is the next to last video in this series. And so before we begin the video, I want to make a huge disclaimer here is that this is not going to be the normal structure of like my other videos where I go through like each trait specifically, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc., 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 simply because it was difficult to find enough information for me to be able to compile like a specific list. So, I'm going to be going off the general traits that is listed off my phone. So anyways, let's begin the video. Alright, so the first thing that I want to say about Gamma Males is that, they are the rebels of society, right? They pretty much play by their own rules, similar to Sigma Males, but the difference between Sigma Males and Gamma Males is that Sigma Males have great social flexibility and they can move from group to group to group and be really successful at it. You know what I mean? Because they're much more open to adventure and exploring and all that jazz. Whereas Gamma Males, they don't have any social flexibility whatsoever. So the only type of people that they can really hang around really is pretty much other Gamma Males and Gamma Females, right? So, and for this reason, since Gamma Males and Sigma Males are similars in that aspect, a lot of Gamma Males think that they are Sigma Males, but they're really not in actuality because, they are so rebellious to the point where they pretty much have no fluidity and mobility to be able to move from group to group to group and be successful at it. You know what I'm saying? And the types of people that fit within the Gamma Male category are spiritualists, hipsters, artists, entrepreneurs, and things of that nature, because they live like a very radical lifestyle, or a lifestyle that is considered radical, and even criminals as well. Criminals fit into the Gamma Male category perfectly, most of all simply because criminals play by their own rules. They're getting in and out of jail, they're breaking all sorts of laws and stuff like that. And then people really don't want to associate with these type of men simply because, they just keep breaking the law left and right, and they pretty much, have no regard for human life. And, another thing that I want to speak on about Gamma Males is that, because of their rebellious nature, their extremely rebellious nature at that, they tend to be overconfident and arrogant, right? Because they believe that they are the best thing in the world simply because, they are, rebellious and don't want to follow any types of rules of society. And when I mean rebellious, these guys are rebellious to the freaking T. You know what I'm saying? Because, just Gamma Males don't really want to follow the rules, which I'm not saying that you should be a drone like the Delta, and speaking of Delta and Sigma, if you want more in-depth information about those personality types, I'll leave the link to the playlist in the description below for you guys to go ahead and watch the rest of the videos that I've recorded in the series. But yeah, it's just like, Gamma Males just have this like untamed wild energy about them. Like they just do whatever. They're just out here wilding, breaking all sorts of laws and stuff, and just really doing some out of the box stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which I understand why you do it, because I'm a rebellious person myself. But at the same time, I have a cap on it. I don't go around breaking laws and just, not being able to move fluidly socially. You know what I'm saying? Because I make sure to have that balance of rebelliousness, yet being orderly. You know what I'm saying? And you have to have that as a man out here in society, which Sigmas perfect quite well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mean to make this video about Sigma Males, but, I just wanted to highlight some of the key differences so that, none of you guys are confused by this, you know? And, another thing that stands out about gamma males is that they get extremely defensive when someone calls them out on their bullshit, right? Because, they do not like to admit when they're being wrong. You see what I'm saying? Even if it's over a teeny tiny thing, gamma males tend to get extremely heated because of their overconfident and arrogant nature. These guys pretty much can't take coaching of any kind from people, which is why, a lot of people are generally turned away from the gamma male personality type, right? Because gamma males are just simply, way too rebellious for their own good. Like I said during the video, is that they don't like following the rules at all. So much so that they'll just get locked up in and out of jail. And yeah, people may be drawn to them, for a little while because they're different than the average person who are just the typical drones of society and they follow all the rules. But the gamma male, is different in regards to where he plays by his own rules. And this may seem like an attractive point to a lady on the surface, but as like the ladies and people in general get to know this type of male more and more and more, the more they realize, like, well, this person got a lot of screws loose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure if I should be around this type of guy. You dig what I'm saying? Like, and I've definitely been around these types in my life, and I'm not gonna mention any specific names because I don't want to put nobody on blast like that. But I've hung out with these types of males, especially in high school, and I just noticed that the way that they dressed, to me was just very wild and very provocative, right? Which I understand, you're expressing yourself and you need to stand out, but at the same time, you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself. You don't want to seem like or come off across as if you're seeking attention. Because it seems like, on a subconscious level, a lot of gamma males are seeking attention and approval just on a subconscious level, even though on the surface they appear to be these confident, secure guys. They're really not, because they're subconsciously seeking attention from the masses, right? Whereas don't. Sigmas don't care for attention. Just saying. And so, another thing that really distinguishes the gamma male from the other male personality types is that they habitually lie to themselves a lot of the times. And this is one of the reasons why they can't maintain long-term healthy relationships with anybody, whether it be romantic, friendship, or business partnerships, simply because they're not honest with themselves. And because they're not honest with themselves, they're not able to be honest with other people. And this is, one of the reasons why a lot of people are, generally turned off by gamma males, right? So if you're a gamma male watching this, hopefully this video is a wake-up call for you to go ahead and change your ways, or for you to shift your consciousness. Because I'm not making these videos in this series to try to say that this male personality type is better than that personality type, and to try to crap on anybody and to try to put people down. I'm just making this series so that you can build a sense of self-awareness and for you to figure out where you fit into these categories, right? Because I care about you as a man, and I want you to succeed, and I want you to have a lot of happiness and joy and fulfillment in your life. So if you're a gamma male watching this, I'm not here to offend you, but if you do get offended by this, I'm sorry, I can't really do anything about that. That's a personal problem. Hopefully you use this as a catalyst to change your ways and to, have the higher shift in consciousness so you can raise your vibrational frequency. All right. And another thing that gamma males have is just this extreme sense of entitlement, right? simply because, of their nature. They think that just because, they stand out in a lot of ways and that they're extremely narcissistic and prideful, they think that, they're entitled to people's time, they're entitled to people's money, they're entitled to all sorts of stuff. When in actuality, nobody's entitled to anything. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. That's one thing that you have to realize in this life is that, if you want something, you're going to have to put in the inner and the outer work to acquire it, right? No one's going to hand you a job. No one's going to hand you a business partnership. No one's going to hand you money. No one is going to hand you anything, period. You have to rise to the occasion and show people why you deserve it, right? And I'm not saying go out here and prove yourself to people, because you don't need to prove shit to anybody. But I'm just saying, if you want people's support, if you want people to be a part of your fan base, you have to give people a reason why they should, right? You have to add value to people's lives first, and then you get the big fan base, and then you get the money, and then you get the support, and then you get the romantic relationship, and then you get the business partnership that you want. But first things first, you have to add value to people's lives. And that's the goal with any and all content that I create, is to add as much value as I possibly can for the time that you're watching me, or you're just listening to me on my podcast, or you're watching one of my short films or video art pieces. But anyways, we're going to move on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? And, gamma males are relatively or mostly unsuccessful with dating 99.9% of the time. However, they do have some success with mating. And they tend to range from being totally antisocial people simply because, they pretty much have no social mobility, and they tend to perceive others as below them. And so, they are extremely introverted in that aspect and don't want to associate with anybody, to being just very promiscuous to where they're having sex with, everyone every 5 minutes, right? They generally go between that range, right? And yes, they may be able to mate real well because, their rebellious nature may be attractive on a surface, but they have extreme difficulty maintaining, long-term romantic relationships simply because, they're not able to handle conflict very well, and they are extremely argumentative, and they are extremely disagreeable, right? And what partner is going to want to be with someone who's constantly defensive and arguing and, thinking that they're right all the time? I hope not. I hope that you're the type of person that values yourself and your time to the point where you're not going to even give the time of day to people who don't want to grow and evolve, right? Because gamma males a lot of the times are stuck in their ways. And because they're stuck in their ways, they're not able to maintain amazing relationships in general. And they wonder why a lot of times they end up lonely, right? And one of the last things I want to say is that, they're into spirituality, and many of them are into crime, sports travel, and anything to do with sex and drugs, simply because, they just, crave freedom above all else. But the thing is, they're living the illusion of freedom. They're not living actual freedom, because actual freedom is for you to be able to go wherever you want to, whenever you want to, be able to build relationships with pretty much anybody that you choose, to make as much money as you want, and to be able to rise up, to the occasion, and be able to add lots of value to the marketplace, and be able to, have as many opportunities as you want, and to be able to pick and choose, and gamma males, just sadly, because they're not, that mobile, and because they're stuck in their ways, they're not going to make that much income. And a lot of the times they end up homeless because of their lack of mobility socially. And because they don't have that much social mobility, they have a difficult time in acquiring money. Because if you want more money, that you're going to have to put in the effort to build relationships with the right people. And the more you build relationships with the right people, the more opportunities are open to you, and the more opportunities are open to you, and the more you take advantage of, more specifically the right opportunities, the more income you're going to make, and you're pretty much going to be limitless, you know? And it's like the Sigmas and the Alphas got this on lock. Well, more so the Sigmas, you know, because of their great social mobility. And, you know, if you do put in the effort to be more open to other people's perspectives and to move up the social hierarchy and to be able to get out of your head and your comfort zone and be able to try new things out and go in and go within yourself and figure out what's going on with you and the core issues that's affecting your life and your results, you know, the more, you know, success you're going to have, and you're going to be able to transform yourself into a Sigma male, because now you're rebelling with purpose. And what I mean by that is that you're rebelling because you know what your purpose is, and you are not going to settle for anything less than that, and you're not going to, you know, back down from people who try to tell you, you know, that your purpose is stupid and try to drift you away from your purpose. You know, your energy is going to be funneled directly by your purpose, as opposed to where you're a gamma male and your rebellious energy is just all over the freaking place and you don't even know what to do with yourself. So with that being said, I hope that you guys did get a lot of value from this video. And if you did, make sure to go ahead and share this video on any and all of your social media platforms with your friends and family that need to see this. Make sure to smash the hell out of that like button too, and timestamp your favorite part of the video. And if you're brand spanking new to the channel, you know, make sure to go ahead and press that subscribe button and hit that bell right next to it so you get notified every single Friday at 11 a.m. when I upload these videos. You know what I'm saying? And also, if you're brand spanking new to the channel and you've never seen any of my content before and you just met me, I first and foremost would like to welcome you to the family. I'm glad that you're here. I hope that you've enjoyed yourself while watching this video. Make sure to go ahead and check out the other videos that I got on this channel. You know what I'm saying? And if you would like to donate to the channel, the link to that will be in the description below. And if you would like to know the gear that I've used to film this video or any of my videos in general, the links will be in the description below for the gear that I used. And I would like to say that those links are Amazon affiliate links. So if you buy anything in general off of those links, I do get a 10% commission off of, you know, what you purchase off of those specific links. So I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you and tell you that, you know, before you go ahead and purchase the gear and whatnot. And if you are a supporter of the 8 Mil Productions brand, I got some merch in my merchandise store, and the link to that will be in the description as well. And, you know, last but not least, make sure to go ahead and check out my 8 Mil Productions podcast and my 8 Mil Productions TV YouTube channel if you want to check out my filmmaking work. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. You know, I hope you enjoyed yourself. And as always, peace in and out with the highest vibes, and I'll see you guys next Friday.